I never want to see another magma cube again. Ever.
This is unacceptable. You call this a Nether Hub? No, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this right now.
We did it. Man, I swear there is nothing like digging out a giant hole in this game. I swear it's the best feeling in the world. And I don't get enough of it here on the flat world because everything's already flat. But, you know, we can come into the nether and have a good time. Have a good mine, I should say. Now that we have this giant hole, I suppose I should probably build some sort of nether hub. That would probably be the correct course of action. I'm sorry, sir. That was rude of me. And I have an idea for a nether hub that I think is kind of funny. If this guy would just stop dying for a second, I could tell you guys what the idea is. Alright, yeah, just go down there. Just go down there. Good boy. Anyways, my idea for the nether hub is to basically build a model of my base inside of here. Things are... Okay, there was a bad idea coming down here. I am sorry. I hate these things. I hate them so much. As I was saying, I think it would be a fun idea to build a model of my base in here within this little perimeter I dug out. But as we all know, things are 8 times smaller in the nether, but the height is actually the same as it is in the overworld. So It would basically be a really squished, elongated version of my base because the length and width of the base are going to be 8 times smaller, but the height is going to be normal. So I think it'll look really silly and funky, but it could be really cool at the same time. So I don't know. I think that's my plan, and then maybe we cover it all in a big glass bubble or something like that. Who knows? I haven't really gotten that far. But in order to know if I want to go in this direction or not, I suppose I should just start with mapping out where the outlines of my base actually would be within this thing. And I think it'll all fit in this circle. I'm pretty sure. Whoop. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all off camera, you know, try to do a 1/8 scale version of my base within this hole here, or at least get the outlines going so I know what it would look like. And yeah. We can sort of see if that's the direction we actually want to go or not. Okay, so I did a little work here in creative mode. I basically got a little bit into laying out the shape of the base in survival, and I realized I should just switch over to creative and get designing in there. And so basically what I did was I laid out all the different circles of the base. So like this innermost circle is the size of our main castle tower. This middle circle here is sort of where the topmost level of grass stops. And then this outer one is like the farthest ring out from that you see around our base. I decided instead of building a model of our base, since everything's so condensed and sort of stretched out, it would be really cool to just build it as one big castle building, but still keep all the proportions the same as our main base. So let me try to explain this if I can. Basically, this top tower here from this point all the way up to there is basically the exact size of our real castle in the overworld. And then this roof line out here basically is the exact size of the grass that surrounds it. So it's a really cool reference point for basically what corresponds in the Nether to where things are in the overworld. And then this right here is the little outcropping that the Spider Cathedral sits on. And these little circular roof shapes that you see around here are actually the circles around the base. So it makes a little bit more sense if I show you guys the map. Yeah, so here in the overworld, you can see this is what I'm talking about when I say the main tower, this wooden part here. And then this would be that middle circle I pointed out where the grass sort of stops on the top level. And then this right here is the outermost ring. And all those other circles you were seeing, those other circular roofs, are these circles here. So everything kind of perfectly corresponds in the overworld to that building that we're doing in the Nether. And then here is the Spider Cathedral like outcropping. So if we go back into the Nether one more time, you can kind of see that if I fly upwards and look straight down and look north, everything kind of lines up. We've got the little Spider Cathedral outcropping, we've got these two circles on this side, and then the slightly bigger circles on the other side, and it all just sort of lines up to how it actually looks in the overworld. So I'm getting a little sick of the Nether. I think I want to switch things up, but off camera in between episodes, I'll probably keep chipping away at the design for this building so that hopefully within the next few episodes we can get this thing constructed. And I'm really excited to get this built in survival because I think it's going to look so cool. And the neatest thing about it is that let's say we build something on one of those outer circles, we could just place a portal in one of these towers and it'll perfectly match up to the portal in the overworld. So I think that's going to be a really cool feature of this tower. It's sort of like a perfect mirror of the overworld, just 8 times smaller. But yeah, let's switch things up, and I think I want to start working on some of the stuff I mentioned last episode. So yeah, switching it up from the Nether, I wanted to come over here and work on some of the stuff. Again, last episode I mentioned we might want to work on this little hobbit hole here, this house over here, and maybe a little bit of the shanty town, and the tavern and inn interior. And I don't know how much we'll have time for today in this episode, but I at least wanted to get one of those things going, and so I decided to work on the inn/tavern interior because that seemed like the most fun to me. So I'm really proud of this. I think it's some of the best interior design work I've done in the game. And so yeah, let's head on in. Enjoy your stay. Hey, enough out of you. Yeah, so when you walk on in, you've got the kitchen straight ahead, employees only. You know, they got a little stovetop here, some countertop, sinks, brick oven. They're brewing some stuff up, and you know, you've got some meal prep going on here. Little window so that they can carry the food out into the dining area, which is over here. Super cool feature in 1.17 is the ability to place the candles on the birthday cakes. I love that. It just looks so sweet. So maybe someone's having a little birthday party here. We got some cookies, salmon, pumpkin pie. Every good tavern has to have an animal head on the wall, so we got the Ender Dragon head hanging up there, which looks pretty cool. And over here we got some bar stools, some tapped kegs in the back there, and our little beer mug icon, of course. I can't remember where I originally saw this, but I just love it. It's such a cool idea. And it looks like I actually just forgot. There we go. Little gate so the employees can come in and out of here. Moving on over here, we've got the little reception area where you would check in and get your room. So, you know, maybe we'll put a villager in here someday if we can manage to trap one. And here's where they'll sign you into the book. You got a little pen cup here. You got your little hooks to hold the room keys. All your records from over the years of everybody that's stayed in the hotel. And of course, you can ring the bell for assistance. And then, you know, under the stairs, we just got a little storage here. But we go up and we'll actually enter the inn itself. So I tried to make this look, you know, pretty nice, but not too nice. It is a medieval sort of inn here. So 101, we've got just a simple little bed with a closet here. We've actually got a record player and a record, as long as you don't play it too loud and disturb the other guests. And moving on, we've got room 102 here. We've got a double bed in this one, and a nice little plant. Some more storage over here. You know, just simple accommodations in these rooms. Room 103, we've got two separate little single beds here, and we got the clock on the wall. And the chimney runs through this room, so, you know, we've got some stuff hanging off the brick there. It's actually kind of a nice look. Lots of books in this room as well. And then moving on down the hall, we've got room 104. This one's got, you know, sort of a fancy bed with the, I don't even know what you call this above, but it's fancy. And then you can sort of come through here. You got a nice little reading area next to the bookshelves with a great view of the rest of the harbor. If we go out into this next room, room 105, we've got a little reading desk sort of area. We've got sort of a green theme going on in this room, the green bed with the green curtains, I suppose, and lots of plants. So I guess this would be like the plant lover's room. And then we've got a nice little lamp here. I finally got my first ever mob head because we can get, you know, the lightning rods by farming up drowned for copper. And so yeah, I managed to get a zombie head to use for this lamp. I wanted a skeleton head, but it turns out a charge creeper can only drop one mob head at a time, you know, per explosion, which I didn't know. Let me just throw it to a clip of me trying to get this head because it was a whole ordeal. So yeah, that was a lot of effort to try and get this zombie head. Hopefully I can get some more heads as well. The skeleton heads are really great for using for lamps like that. And then the other thing I was thinking of doing is using a creeper head on this rug down here so that it kind of looks like a creeper skin rug. Future Mogswamp here. I just wanted to tell you guys I pulled it off. I got the creeper head, and hopefully I will just keep farming these thunderstorms to get more and more mob heads. Basically, I just never go to sleep in this game anymore, which has taught me that I really need to light up my world better because I'm just so used to sleeping whenever it gets dark. But yeah, if you don't sleep, eventually you will get a thunderstorm, and then I've been using that to get the charged creepers with the lightning rod and farm up all these mob heads, and hopefully I will get some skeleton heads because they're so good for lamps. And eventually, hopefully, I will just make a farm to make it a lot easier, because right now I'm just kind of running around in the wild, trying and hoping and praying to get a charge creeper to blow up near the mob that I want. But yeah, around the bend from room 105, you've just got a little seating area with a lamp, and then it just leads out onto the sort of deck area, which I don't know if I'm gonna add any seating out here. I might add some little chairs on this back side, but I haven't done that yet. And we'll continue up to the 3rd level, just up the stairs here, and we've got some more rooms. So this is room 201 here, and this is sort of a like bunk bed setup. So we've got like a little reading desk under here with the first bed, and then you can go up the ladder and you've got the second bed with a little bit of storage for your stuff, and a little table, because presumably 2 people will be staying here, so at least they can sit down and enjoy a meal together or something in their room. Room 202, we've got sort of a similar setup, different sort of bunk beds, but yeah, you can climb up and get to this second bed up here. You know, you're sort of sleeping with your feet on opposite ends, like a sleepover. I don't know if you guys did that when you were a kid. And yeah, we've just got, you know, some books, some drawers, simple stuff, a little bit more storage, a nice lamp to light up the room. And then we've got this nice spacious hallway, a little bit of storage just lining the wall here. These 2 doors lead to just a little bit of food reserves for the kitchen, you know, just extra food that they keep. And then at the end of this hallway, we have the Diamond Suite, which is sort of the presidential or penthouse suite. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any windows. There's no windows on this level, but it's still a really nice room nonetheless. You've got a little bit of a reading area and nice bookshelves, a nice big chair, and some nice storage. What are these things called? Oh, I thought of the word I was thinking of. A credenza. It's kind of like a credenza. What a weird word. And then in the back here, we've got the nice big bed, super spacious king size bed with the curtains coming down, you know, plants, storage, everything the captain of the ship would need. Because presumably, you know, the ship crew are the people who are probably going to be sleeping in this tavern the most. So, you know, the captain's got to have a nice room here. And then, yeah, coming out into this hallway, there's one more level, and it's sort of the attic. I guess it's the 4th floor of this inn, and it's very tight quarters up here, and it's just a little bit of more storage. You know, it's a tavern. It's a medieval kind of tavern. They're gonna need a bunch of storage, and maybe even the pirates need to put some of their extra, you know, luggage, cargo, loot up here. Who knows? You wouldn't really guess that you would be able to fit 4 stories worth of stuff in here. And what was it? A total of like, let's see, there's 3 rooms on the 3rd floor. There's like 5 rooms on the 2nd floor. So that's like 8 rooms or something like that. It's kind of crazy that you can fit all that, plus the restaurant and tavern in the bottom, all in this one building. But yeah, that was just a little progress update for you guys. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on next in this episode. We'll see what strikes my fancy, I suppose. But yeah, I was very excited to show you guys all that because I worked super hard on it and I think it came out really awesome. I wish there was a faster way to do interiors. This whole thing took me like 2 different nights of just working all night after work. But I'm really happy with the way it came out. And maybe as I do this stuff more and more, I'll start to get faster at it, hopefully. And speaking of getting faster at interiors, I've put together 2 more and it took me a lot less time, but granted, they're a lot smaller buildings. I finished up the Hobbit hole and I finished up this house as well, which both were on the to-do list, so I'm super happy I got those finished. You can see the exterior for this house is now finished. There's not really a good vantage point, but I guess you can see it okay from here. We've got the new moss blocks in the building mixed in with the green wool and green concrete powder. I think it's really cool for the texture. Even a little podzol and regular grass up there. I think it looks really cool in this roof line. So let's take a little peek inside. We've got a little table, a little sink setup, another kind of credenza type thing, and just a little seating area. And just a little Easter egg is that since the floor here is made out of note blocks and dark oak logs, when you step on this pressure plate, I tuned it to make like a nice little chord so that it sounds kind of lovely. And you can step out here onto this nice big porch. We've got like a little workbench out here as well. And then if we go back in and head up the stairs, Oh, and we've got this closet here as well that I forgot to show. I should put some dyed leather armor on here. I like to do that for decoration. Up here, we've got the bedroom, and it's sort of like a witchy plant bedroom. This is probably my favorite bedroom I've ever done. They've got, you know, a brewing stand, cactus, some little plants here, a hanging plant there, and this is sort of purple themed over here. We've got like a little reading nook with our purple lamp and our purple flower and our purple carpet. And I just picture someone like lying down here looking out this window and reading a good book. I think it's like really cozy up here. And then we've got a hammock for the bed that sort of is hanging from the ceiling here. And you can just hop up onto it. And from the bed, you can look at this painting. It's actually a really awesome place to sleep. I kind of wish it was night so I could show you guys. And then if we fly up to the Hobbit home, this one was like halfway done. We already had the center part all finished up, but I had to add the 2 wings, and I basically added, you know, a little seat with a coffee table, a little bed, kind of like what we did in the tavern in the Diamond Suite, very similar bed setup. And then we added a little table over here, which these always get messed up and it drives me crazy, but it's worth it because they look so cool when they render in properly. There we go. Oh, I think it's if something puts the pressure plate down, it doesn't pop back up. But yeah, there we go. Doesn't that look so cool? And then we've got the little kitchen area here with little food storage and a mirror here. I love this banner design for a mirror. It's really clever. I really like this Hobbit home. I think it's super cozy. And the smithing tables for the ceiling, I think that's what these are, right? Yeah, the smithing tables. The bottom of them makes such a cool ceiling block. I really love the mahogany sort of texture it has. So that's 2 more things off the checklist done. I'm really happy with that. And then I also mentioned we could work on this part of the town a little bit. I started doing it. I basically finished off the roof to this building because it was never finished and it was driving me crazy. So the roof line is finally finished. It's like a really complex kind of wacky roof line. So that's why I was putting it off for so long. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It's sort of just janky in a good way, you know what I mean? It has like a little hump to it. So I'll be looking forward to doing the interior up there. I think that's the only thing I have left to do on this building because the bottom's all finished. So we just got to plan out an interior for here. But I'm going to save that for next episode. Maybe we can chip away at the rest of this town bit by bit. But I'm really happy that I at least got done with these 3 buildings over here. So after all that work in the Nether and then all that interior design work, I was really in the mood to do a little bit of work on something more farmy or redstone-y. And one of the things that's just been on the to-do list forever and ever, and I actually mentioned it in the world tour, is a potion room, which I either want to put in this nook here or in this nook here if it fits. Hopefully it does. A lot of the potion brewing designs I'm finding are a little too big for these spaces, but I'm really hoping I can find one that's a nice solid fit. But rather than build the potion room in this episode, because that's probably going to take a full episode of its own to get done, I wanted to just start by building a farm that would help make some of the potions. So one of the potions that's going to be the most useful is the regen potions, and you need gas tiers for those, and I don't really have a ghast farm. So I wanted to maybe make a gas farm in this episode, but then I was looking up designs for gas farms and I realized I was going to need a lot of wither roses. And I don't really have a good way to get wither skulls. So I decided instead to build a wither skeleton farm, and it's actually all done. So let's go check it out. So the design is really cool. It's by ianxofour, and I'm just gonna fly there and speed it up so you can see where I put it. All right, here's the farm right here in the Soul Sand Valley, and you can actually see it working. There was just some wither skeletons that popped into that portal just now. So basically, the farm only took me a couple hours to build, which is why I love it so much. Definitely, I'm going to link it in the description, so check it out. Again, it's by ianxofour. And how it works is it takes advantage of some of the spawn mechanics of the Soul Sand Valley and the Nether fortresses. And basically, you AFK on the ceiling of the Nether way above the farm, and just out of range to where the only place that mobs can really spawn is on this little platform or above. And because we're in the Soul Sand Valley, not many mobs spawn here, and this is all kind of solid, so there's not a lot of opportunity for other mobs to spawn. So you just get a bunch of wither skeletons. These pegs basically prevent things like magma cubes from spawning, and then everything just kind of gets funneled into this portal, and you AFK on the other side and get tons of wither skulls. So I'll show you the AFK spot right now. So up here on the nether roof, I've kind of just built a little trail of lights that leads over to the AFK spot. And here it is now. So we come into here, and I basically stand in the middle of these red blocks. And if I stand here for about 5 minutes, the wither skeletons will start coming through the portal above and funneling into this little space. And I just basically put on an auto clicker to automatically click for me, just like that. That noise you heard was the auto clicker turning on. And yeah, you just basically farm up the skeletons with a looting 3 sword. And I left this running overnight and got a couple stacks of skulls, so it works really, really awesome. So thanks to this farm, not only do I now have a great way to get more beacons, which I never had before, but now I can use the withers to spawn up a whole bunch of wither roses, which I'm going to need for the ghast farm. And I've already gone ahead and done that. I have a ton of wither roses now. In fact, I might be able to show you guys. Ah, yes, right here in my ender chest, here they are. So let me just throw it to a clip of how I got all these wither roses, because it's pretty funny. So yeah, hopefully the gratuitous slaughter of those Minecraft chickens entertained you guys as much as it entertained me. We're just gonna slowly work our way towards the potion farm by knocking off one farm at a time. And so maybe next episode we'll get to building the actual ghast farm itself. And I think we're gonna need a blaze farm for a consistent supply of blaze rods. And there's a few other farms we're gonna need to build as well. So we'll just chip away at it until we can finally be confident that we can build the potion room and fully stock it. But I did build another farm just for fun the other night. It's this big thing right here. It's sort of in between my mob farm and the Garden of Pharos. And it looks really big and impressive, but it's basically just a big platform. This is a wandering trader farm, and I'll again link the design in the description. And basically how it works is you AFK below this platform, and there is a chance that the wandering trader will spawn, and yeah, he basically has nowhere else to go because this is all just water below me. And they are actually attracted to bells, so he will basically book it for this bell once he spawns in, and then these trapdoors trick him into falling down. The mobs basically look at them like they're open like this and able to be walked on when they're really not. He'll fall down and go through the portal. So I basically stand in this little glass cage for hours at a time while I sleep, and when I wake up there's 2 to 3 wandering traders in the nether that I can trade with. And so far I've basically just been getting a whole bunch of tropical fish. I did get rooted dirt, which I don't think I had before, but I think you can get that from azalea trees anyhow. So really I've just been stocking up on tropical fish and coral, which is always useful. And if I ever see blue ice or packed ice, I of course buy that, but he hasn't had any lately, unfortunately. What I'm really after is the drip leaf, because I still haven't been able to get my hands on any drip leaf in 1.17, and it's so pretty. I really can't wait to start building with it. So hopefully after a few more nights of AFKing at that farm, we will get lucky enough to get a drip leaf trade. But I did want to fly over to Salacia just to show that slowly we are trying to fill this place up with fish. Every time he has a tropical fish trade, I'll buy all 4 because he only sells 4 at a time. And I'm just slowly trying to get it so that when you swim around here, there's actually fish, like, making this place feel alive. And again, I talked about it a bit in the world tour, how they all kind of group up in this one corner, unfortunately. So this one corner feels quite lovely with all the lovely and lively with all the fish swimming around. But hopefully once we get enough fish in here, they'll maybe spread out a little bit. Maybe that's wishful thinking. But, you know, every time I see a fish trade, I'm just going to do it and put the fish in here and name them. Hopefully that doesn't start to lag the game or anything. Well, guys, I think that's going to be about all we have time for in this episode, but I'm pretty happy with the progress. I mean, we dug out a huge hole in the Nether, which looks super cool, and I can't wait to keep working on the Nether Hub base castle thing in creative mode so that we can hopefully build that in the next upcoming episodes. And we also got a lot of work done in the little hobbit hole, the tavern inn thing, and the little witch house over there. So yeah, not to mention we did a wither skeleton farm and a watering trader farm. So it was like actually a pretty action-packed episode, but I thought a fun way to end off the episode would be to actually go and check out this episode 86 of the Flat World, because in this episode, I set a bunch of goals for the Flat World, and I haven't really looked at this since then. So I'm just gonna skip ahead here. So you can tell how long ago this was because my hair is so short. Check it out. Who is that guy? Who's that guy in the video? I don't even recognize him. So let's take a look at the goals here. The first goal says finish cow and pig tunnels. We actually did do that. We did finish the cow and pig tunnels that lead from the cow and pig like AFK breeder farms into the main base. Though the one thing I didn't figure out is we need a way to basically hold the baby cows and pigs until they grow up and then send them through the tunnel. So I would give this like a half done. We did make a chicken farm though. We did make a slime farm. We didn't make an overworld enderman farm, but this was written at a time when I couldn't get to the end yet. So now that we can get to the end, I have an enderman farm in the end. A pigman farm, I also did that. We do have a nano farm over by the giant mob grinder that runs off of bone meal. And we do have the pumpkin melon farm. We already had a melon farm, and I just kind of added a few pumpkins in there. So technically we have a pumpkin melon farm, although it's not super advanced or anything. It's definitely very slow. And then, well, I guess, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, our enderman farm also produces melon and pumpkins if I turn on enderman griefing. And then, let's see, potato silo. We finished that. That just means the storage silo for the potato farm. We did make a netherwort farm, and we did find beetroot and make a farm for that as well. Although I will say we should probably make an actual netherwort farm like that is much more massive scale, especially because we're going to be working on a potion room soon. And I've always been meaning to make a automatic carrot, wheat, potato and beetroot farm, you know, that runs off of villager labor. I've never made one that's actually fully automatic, so maybe someday we'll get around to that. But yeah, that's pretty much every goal done. But it does remind me I should probably figure out how to fix the cow and pig tunnels. And then if I skip ahead a little bit, it looks like I have a few things under the fix category. The tree farm, we never got around to fixing that, so we do still need to make a tree farm. We did, however, fix the item sorter. I think that's referring to the item sorter over at the giant mob farm. And yeah, we fixed that once we got access to ice through the wandering trader. We did fix the slime elevator. It's now a water elevator. I guess this maybe was written even before water elevators were in the game. And then the AFK fish farm, unfortunately, those are now broken after one of the past updates. Maybe there's a way to still make an AFK fish farm. It's definitely more complex than it was now. So I could look into it. But yeah, I just thought it would be kind of fun to check out this video and look at some of the goals we had, because it seems like we basically did them all by the 100th episode. So that's really cool. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching. Throw a like on it if you did. Subscribe if you want to, you know, if you want to be a little bit cheeky and see when the videos come out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.